You're up, Daniel.
Okay. Hey guys, we're back for a thrilling episode of CyberPunk Red. This game takes place in the Cyberpunk universe, which is Cyberpunk 2077, but about 30 years prior to that, in a totally different city. For those that weren't following along, we are in the rebuilt remains of New Orleans, otherwise known as Lumens Nouveau. Mark, as some station keeping, can you please clear the chat log on your machine?
I can.
Thank you. Today we're missing one player, but we're going to go through the players real quick and just say who you're playing and what they are. And we'll start with Naomi.
I am playing no one, and no one is a fixer.
Okay, awesome. Let's go to Mark.
So I'm playing Bishop, and I am a netrunner or hacker.
And Jay?
I am Nate, otherwise known as Midnight, playing a Rucker Boy.
Awesome. And rounding out our quartet, Billy.
I am playing Hector, also a netrunner.
Awesome. Thank you. So we're a little heavy on the net running tonight, but we do have some play, both back and forth. We are missing our med tech, who couldn't be here tonight because he is doing some jobs with his real life, which is awesome.
But that's okay because we don't need a med tech.
Yeah, I'm sure we won't.
Sure you don't. You guys have rolled up secondaries, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there is some stuff behind the scenes that can kind of shake things up for the players here. We have one adventure path that the players are on right now that is taking place in the past. We have one that's in the past. We have another one that is finishing up in the past, and so this one's taking place about a week and a half after they return from the oil rig. And the oil rig, we started last time we were on the stream, and we are finishing that over play by post. But essentially, they have Mark.
I would like to jump off the cliff onto the genie.
So, Mark,
past.
go ahead and roll up a new character. At least you won't have to use your mask, so you don't have to worry about the extra Wait. The oil rig, Mark has done that in several of my campaigns. The oil rig, the players have kind of found out that somebody is wanting to keep people away, and they're using turrets that have corpses shoved over them to make it seem like the oil rig is haunted. So we will, once they finish that up for play-by-post, we'll finish it up, tidying it up here on the stream so that you guys know what happened there as well. But for this, we are starting about a week and a half later. I need to make sure that all of you, except Nate, because Nate already took care of it, have removed the amount of eddies from your accounts for the rent for February. Those of you that are down under that number, we can talk. But
How much is our rent?
I'll have to get with you.
And I'm exempt.
don't have any money.
I think your rent is 1,100.
Yeah, let's just assume I have no money.
Okay. So all of you, including Bishop, because he keeps taking jobs that don't have money.
Well,
Yes,
actually, though, I'm exempt because I didn't have an apartment, and I just got one, and she said I was paid through the end of February.
Yep. I know.
Okay. I'm just making sure because I didn't take it off my thing.
He gave her food and did a job, kind of,
Food?
for her.
Like
Yeah.
clothes, food.
No, like actual food. Like,
Like
the apples.
fresh fruit, the apples. and stuff.
Apples.
Apples.
Yeah. If you guys see me turning to face it behind me, it's because my wife is sitting
I'm
behind me.
distracting.
Yeah, and she's distracting. Anyway, the fixer, no one. It is starting to get into that springtime where rain is in the air and all it does is really make things super, super humid here in the south. Also, there have been a lot of cases of strange fish washing up on shore with a dark, oily residue. You're not sure if it has to do with what happened out at the oil rig, but there have been these fishes washing up on the beach, and it's been making people sick because a lot of the people in Nation are hungry, and they'll eat what they find. But you have been contacted late on this Thursday evening by a fixer who has a job. Well, a fixer who has a point of contact for a job.
My father said point of contact.
So it's on your agent, and it starts off pretty reasonably with a couple messages, but essentially this fixer friend, Delphi, is passing your name along to a person that you all have heard of called Mr. Flash. Mr. Flash is a net runner fixer that tends to have odd jobs and offer odd payment. A lot of times it's not straight eddies that Mr. Flash pays with, and sometimes the jobs are seemingly random. All of you imagine that the jobs that come from Mr. Flash are probably for a blog or a garden patch somewhere where people can watch.
Wait, we're gonna be part of a prank show?
For slacks, yeah, kind of. It's almost like you're sure there's a prank show, but none of you have been able to find said garden patch if it exists. But that is you get a time and place, and it is this evening on a series of rooftops with whoever you deem to have the same information as you.
Well, I'll contact Bishop. I'll contact my team, and obviously we get stood up by the med tech, but I'll make sure everyone else is on the contact them with the information because I need backup. Suspicion.
Okay. So each of you receive a message from no one telling you about a possible job. And that job is for Mr. Flash.
Hey, is well, but unconventionally. I hope you pays well, but I didn't add that.
Do we have any details about the job?
Well, they're kind of random and a little weird, and I'm asking Daniel, does it seem like there's a time frame? Like, is this a big job or a little quick job?
It is currently 6 p.m.
I know, but like...
I know.
Okay.
It's currently 6 p.m. All that you need to meet him there at 10 on the rooftop. Somewhere in the business district. The address is pretty specific, but you haven't been to this specific address, so you're not sure exactly where, but you'll figure it out. The details for the job are just that it requires more than 3 people, that it should be easy, and a quick pay. But since Delphi wasn't able to find other people for this job, it makes you wonder why Delphi called you for this job.
Because we get stuff done.
That probably could be.
Zombies on an oil rig.
Wasn't zombies.
Sort of zombies.
So we killed the zombies on the oil rig, right?
One way or the other.
Okay. I text back that I'm in, and where do they want to meet?
But do most of us live in the same area, right?
In Nation, within a couple stacks of each other. It's just you don't know if they are laying in their bed, you know? It's still 6 p.m. on a Thursday, so they may be out.
And you said it's in the central business district or the southern?
It's in the northern business district.
So it's in the nice area of town.
Yeah, it's a nicer area of town on a roof.
Okay, so let's meet...
Central business district.
Yeah, that's what I...
Right where the bag of money is, actually.
Okay, instead of meeting in the central business district, I'd say like that northwest corner right above the IM. That's right above there.
So on the edge of M Nation.
Yeah, on the edge of M Nation, because I don't want to be in too fancy places.
Okay.
When we meet up, and then we'll head to the meeting place together.
I'm assuming this is like a group text.
Yes.
So everybody got that information?
Yes.
Okay.
And Nate said that he would be there on the agent also.
Yeah.
Awesome.
No word from Hector yet, though.
He's digesting the information.
No, sorry. I'm good.
All right, so all of you arrive at the appointed time, and you see each other. You've seen, bits of each other here and there over the last week and a half, but haven't really had time to sit still very often. Maybe share a beer, but that was about it over the last since the oil rig. And you maybe even be a little scarred over the stuff that you came across while there. But you arrive on time, and you are looking out over the huge fence filled with billboards between M Nation and the central business district. Billboards such
Hey guys,
as...
good to see you. Zombies. Crazy.
Yeah. But that's probably why they hire us for the crazy jobs.
Billboards such as...
Oh gosh.
Does that pop up?
Oh, hold on. I'm on the map. Sorry. Yes,
Hi.
I did.
Real water by Biotechnica, now only 99 euros a gallon. Contact your local dealer. If you want the freshest taste, go to the freshest place. As you kind of group up, there's a small Nathan's hot dog stand that is selling various things that may or may not be hot dogs. There's a little bit of a line from the workers on this side of M Nation this late at night, but you guys are meeting up, and it's about, what time did you tell them to meet up? 8?
8, yeah.
Okay. So it's about 8, and you guys are smelling the grilled dogs, or whatever they're made up of, maybe kelp dogs, from this small cart as you talk.
Did they taste like veggie dogs?
They taste a little bit like veggie dogs, yeah.
Hey Nate, I know you like the hot dogs. Are you going to get a giant kielbasa before we go?
Sure. Sounds good.
You guys make your way down and get in line, and the trip passes pretty quickly. The two people in the food truck cart situation are pretty efficient, and they're bringing people through pretty quick. As you get closer, you see that the deal going right now is $2 for €2 for 2 eddies.
Did I already get my kibble? I'm assuming if I didn't have my kibble for the day I had from yesterday, and it's so weird calling it kibble, but yeah, I don't have any.
Question:
Having
We did
multiple girlfriends is expensive.
get paid for the ORIG thing, so we do have money.
But
You
I
have
had
an
rent.
undisclosed amount of money, yes.
Yes,
Not
but
as much as you would like.
most
To be
people,
determined later.
yeah, most people also had to pay rent just now.
Yep.
So
Yay.
You
There's
have
that, too.
some money, Nate, because you paid ahead, but
I will
Okay, I
buy.
haven't been paid any more than anybody else, but I'll pay for some hot dogs if needed.
No, I was gonna say
I'm good.
I pay for no one and Nate,
Oh.
and I'll get a 4th one, and I'll see if Billy wants one, or if Hector wants one. Excuse me.
Thank
I mean, who doesn't love a good kielbasa?
as per normal, with the type of kelpo dogs and the stuff that is grown, especially kind of in this area, the dogs are like a bright red color, like some Nate's hot dogs, especially the good places, are. They are spicy, and they have small flecks of green from the seaweed and kelp that helps make up their meat base. Tastes like food. You guys pull up a set of old coolers and ramshackle chairs to kind of sit in this area and until you're ready to go.
And this is close to our meeting, but we need to be up on the roof, right?
So you had said you wanted to meet at the edge of M Nation.
Okay, yeah, but
The money bag here in the center of the central business district, that's where you need to be.
okay, well, you're gonna finish our dogs, and what's the public transportation, or is that walking distance?
It'll take you about an hour to walk there, and you still have plenty of time. There are subways that run underneath, and a lot of them end up flooding. But there is some public transport, some cheap public transport.
Okay.
But walking, you still have plenty of time.
Yeah, let's start walking that way. Walking.
Did anybody have anything else before you guys get started?
Well, we don't really have any info yet as far as details, so I think we're sort of just.
We're all.
Waiting.
It's a job. It should be relatively quick and relatively easy. The guy we're working for is a little eccentric, so it might just. He doesn't like giving details. And he might not exactly have money, but tradable goods and stuff, favors, things like that, usually compensate him well. I mean, what else are you gonna do?
So you start walking, and as you change in from M Nation into the central business district, As we've discussed before, it's night and day. M Nation is where the immigrants come to live, and there isn't a lot of money there. There is a lot of money in the Central Business District. While there is still, areas where filth and garbage litter the alleyways, most of the other areas are pretty well picked up, and the skyscrapers reach up for thousands of feet above you. Cold concrete and steel for the most part. But being that it is night, it is also lit up like crazy. Neon lights, signs, and advertisements follow you across the huge, vast distances of ad space on these buildings. Some of the ones closer at your level get a read off of something about you, possibly your agent, and are personalized advertisements. Nothing overly embarrassing, but advertisements for maybe the types of kibble that you tend to prefer, or types of scud that you tend to prefer. Or websites you visit. So no ones are very embarrassing.
Yes.
But you still make your way across the Central Business District and get to the address. Going down, it's like your wish ads. Going down the alleyway, you see there is a pretty modest and kind of hidden set of ladders that go up to a fire escape for one of these shorter buildings. Most of the buildings surrounding you are upwards of 50 to 60 to 70 stories. The buildings around you right now are 4 to 8. And so you're able to kind of negotiate and pick your way across these sections. So if you guys can please roll me a athletics or streetwise.
Ooh, I have streetwise.
Hector, I'm glad I could help with that thing after the zombies. It was fun. Also, I'm glad we were able to work out a better deal for the boat system. It's going to be a lot of work, but I think it will be pretty lucrative if we get it working completely. The data from the zombie attack at the oil rig is being analyzed right now. Also, no one, what is www.jackedwomen.com that keeps chasing you?
None of you. I mean, seriously, how are you asking that question? It's a virus? Yeah, that's what it is. It's a virus.
It's a virus. Okay, so
Hold on, I need to find
Nate, which did you roll? Did you roll streetwise or did you roll athletics? Okay.
I rolled athletics, but like half my macros are gone for some reason, so I'm trying to fix them.
Oh.
Yeah, it should have said athletics, but I don't know why it's missing.
And Hector, how about you?
I rolled streetwise.
Okay. And no one?
Streetwise.
Okay. And
Yeah, I'm still working on it.
streetwise or athletics?
Streetwise.
So as Nate begins to kind of just pull himself up across the fire escapes and the like, you guys, the rest of you, can see that he is very much a person of character, but who did not necessarily grow up on the same streets you guys did. And you're able to figure out other paths, crawling up pipes and using garbage and other pieces of electronics that are hanging off the buildings to kind of catch up and assist both yourselves and because you all rolled really well. Yourselves and Nate, you guys are able to kind of work together to pretty easily make your way up onto a building. It looks very familiar because it's similar to the building you spent New Year's Eve on, but really all that is saying how common this kind of setup tends to be. Wah, wah. It is not raining. I know the map shows it's raining. It's not actually raining right now.
It's just
It is
smog.
super wet though, and there is a little small layer of smog coming from these air conditioning units. All of them are bubbling and burbling so loudly, it's hard to hear yourselves talking.
Are we gonna parkour?
You're gonna have to. So, you know that the meeting place has you listed on this roof, and technically you did just parkour. That's why I was making you roll streetwise.
Yeah, I yelled parkour.
Of course you did. There is a drop of about 15 feet between this building and to this building. So this building is actually lower by 15 feet.
There's no shimmying down.
There is no shimmying. I mean, you can try to shimmy down, sure. Also, keep in mind, it is very wet up here. Wet, humid, and extremely loud.
So we have like, how bad is it gonna hurt when I jump and fall that far?
Drop 15 feet?
Yeah,
And then dropping off the roof.
that would hurt.
I know. That's why I made it 15 feet.
Damn you.
So roll athletics to see if you can roll out of it. So,
We have to go there?
yes. The black and white lines are the address point.
I'll be the first. It was my idea. I'm gonna break my neck. Yep. Oh, I have to roll again. Fudge nuggets.
Do it. Do
I just roll a
it.
d10, right?
Just a d10.
Our first fatality just by jumping a 15-foot gap.
Did no one just run up and jump off the edge, or are you guys up
I
there
was
with
like-
her?
She ran up and jumped off the edge.
Parkour!
Bishop literally said in character, "We have to go there," and that was.
No one said yep before running and jumping off the edge.
I imagine she did one of these.
So
Yeah.
because there's
Parkour.
a 15-foot difference, you guys just saw no one jump off the edge of the roof.
I got this.
You don't
parkour!
see the next roof.
I trust way too much.
No one. You land, and there's a soft crunch as your ankle gives way underneath you.
Ow.
You're going to suffer a -2 to all physical actions until I say so. Because you sprained your ankle.
Medic. Oh wait, can I fix myself?
Sure, you can try. Nate asked, do we need a new fixer? Because you guys are just standing back
I'm
there.
just a little broken,
You jumped off the edge of a building.
and they hear me yelling, "Damn it, my ankle!"
Okay, there you go.
I thought there would be like a ball pit or something. This was supposed to be a
No one is standing on
Ball
the
pit.
floor.
A
The floor
ball
below you.
pit?
Floor below you.
A
With one hand,
cyberpunk ball pit.
with one hand on the air conditioner, just kind of propped up,
Ow.
seemingly totally fine.
How far is the drop again?
15 feet, 1-5.
I think she just committed suicide.
No, here.
Maybe things didn't go well with her new girlfriend.
Bishop can hear no one yelling.
And he's still saying
Barely, because of all the noise, but
Do we have a... What are the chances that our team has a rope?
not very good. Nate seems to be trying to create some type of rope out of a roll of duct tape. As I have tried to do this in the past, you can go ahead and try, man.
You talking about me and the duct tape?
Yes.
I think we should look around for some other way or thing to use.
Yeah, look for like stairs or any easier way to get down that doesn't involve sprained ankles or a fixer.
Yay.
So I thought we were under the impression this was our only way, which is why I was going
So
to.
that building that no one is now on has no fire escape. There are no stairs.
You guys could like lower each other down.
You could lower each other down.
Like there's smart ways of doing it that aren't my
Or you
way.
could make an athletics roll and not critically fail.
Yeah, at least
I mean, I think I'd like to make an athletics roll to try and help Hector down and have him help me down, and same for Nate.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah,
how much
take the
rope do
smart
I
route.
get out of the duct tape? Does it add a bonus to athletics or just reduce the distance? I mean, I'm not expecting 15 feet of duct tape, but there's got to be something I can do with it.
You can tie yourself to Hector.
Yeah.
So,
You can tape up my damn ankle.
the duct tape would do better as a bandage than it would as a rope. It would be the equivalent of making. I've tried to make rope out of that duct tape, and while it did hold some things, it didn't hold the weight of a 15-year-old child. So I doubt
it's a ledge, right? Or is there an alley between the two?
It's just a ledge, straight down.
So, like, if I were to say, let myself down slowly instead of jumping down 15 feet, let's say I'm arm's length plus my height, it'd be like a 7 or 8 foot drop, right?
Yeah, but Bishop could like get down on his stomach and hold your arms and lower you down, until
then you could stand at the edge. And
they can put their feet on my shoulders. And
exactly.
down.
This is the athletics roll he's making to help whoever is going first.
Okay.
I'll go first.
So Midnight will help Hector. So
I went first.
Hector, go ahead
second.
and make an athletics check. With a plus 4, a plus 2.
Okay. Stand by.
Parkour! Ow!
No.
Nate is helping the first smart person down.
Right. That's why Hector's getting plus 2.
I get you guys a job. I don't have to be smart.
There we go. Well, how about
No. His hand slips.
Did you is that with an extra plus 2?
Yes. So
Okay.
I'd end up with a 7.
Yeah.
So broken skull. Are we just gonna die on this roof?
Yes. This is what I've been trying to tell you all along. This game is lethal. 15-foot ledge is going to take us all out.
So
yeah, it's a little
Hector,
bit odd. Yeah.
As Midnight was slowly lowering you down, the wetness of the side of the wall was more than what you expected, and you slipped back and landed on your back, cracking your head against the roof of the floor, the roof next to you.
Yeah.
So you actually need to take off 2 armor for your skull cap, your leather
Head.
So it will count as a 9 instead of an 11 because I think it counts for 11 right now, right?
Yep.
As it absorbed some of that, but you also now have a ringing headache.
Awesome.
And armor in this game is like when we sleep, it automatically regenerates, right?
Yeah. Well, once you take the time to like refresh it and buff it out and replace pieces, yes. So between sessions, it's understood that you guys are working on your armor.
Got it.
Okay.
So you are now here on the ground.
Well, I'll try and help Midnight down, I guess. So this is my role to hit.
Bishop just runs and pushes both of you off.
Oh, I'm apparently going down next. I'll wait for Hector to get up, and then I'll let Midnight help me down. And is that just a +2?
Yeah, nobody should have to drop now from the top anymore.
I think Hector should catch you, one net runner to another.
No.
Actually, right now with the setup you guys have, you're fine.
Do I need to roll? I need to roll athletics to make sure it's not a
You
critical
still
botch,
need to
right?
roll athletics, but there's a lot less of a worst case. Yeah, you're fine.
So now Midnight's the only one up there?
Yep, and Bishop will reach up with Hector so that you can use both their hands as footholds as you get down.
Nate's going to wave at everybody and say, "See ya."
And just leave.
No. He'll stick with the group. So yeah, do I need to make one more roll?
No. So sorry, I apologize. Hold on.
Okay, that's good because
The athletics check for Bishop and the athletics check for Nate were getting down using the three of you as a pyramid.
Oh, I see.
All of you are down.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. I didn't want that critical failure. Anyways.
Nate's gonna put his unmolested duct tape back in his pack.
Wow, doesn't even offer it to no one. That's messed up, dude.
He's not a medic. The GM may have said that. Doesn't
He
he did.
wouldn't have thought of it.
I can go over and take a look at no one. I do have some experience with first aid.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I also do, but it's my ankle and I'm mad. So.
As no one pulls up their pant leg and pulls off a boot, you can see that it looks like a sprained ankle. It's already starting to swell, and no one is already walking with a little bit of a limp.
Okay.
Oh, you're fine. I'll walk it off.
First, burning from an oil drum, and now a broken ankle.
So, do you want me to roll first aid to see what the best thing to do for her would be at this point?
Yes, you can.
Please do.
At this point, wrapping it tightly would probably be the best idea until you can get some time to convalesce and let it rest.
Better.
Yeah.
So, I have duct tape.
You do?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Wrap it in duct tape?
I'll apply
It's
it for her.
waxing too.
Right now, I don't trust her.
Just don't forget to yell parkour as you tie the tourniquet.
The tourniquet?
It's a neck tourniquet.
Hold still, I'm writing a number on your forehead.
This is so they can identify you.
Kale has it. Kale
Do
has
you
it.
need my phone for? No, something like that.
Alright. You guys are now here. It is about 9:45, all things told. You were told to meet here at 10. So you guys have about 15 minutes. You also note that the kind of humid air has broke a little bit, and there's a little bit of a wind helping to push that away, but it's also starting to drizzle.
No, it's not my skill.
Is that you yelling?
You can hear the ducks.
Fighting her?
They don't fight.
Fighting her with an F.
Oh yeah, they fight her.
Okay. About 15 minutes later, as the drizzle has started to turn into light raindrops, the huge advertisement that has been kind of in view this whole time, it was advertising Biotechnic's real water right here. It changes. You see a man with a face with a top hat. You guys know the plain white masks you usually see at Halloween, where they're just like eyes cut out. A Jabberwocky mask, essentially. You see a white mask underneath a white top hat with white jazz hands, and the rest of the screen is black.
Wait, is the jazz hands going like jazz hands?
They start out by going like jazz hands, and they're very animated. As I get into the speech portion, the hands. I'll wait for you. Are you done? Yeah, waiting for you, Lily. The hands are very emotive. They're very animated as the voice speaks. At first, you can see that the mast is moving, but you guys can't hear anything because the sounds of the rain, the city, the air conditioners right around you, they're all very loud. Then you note that sound starts to lessen. The streets, which were filled with cars, honking and moving about, as well as people yelling, and the air conditioners around you, all of that slowly stops. Like the air conditioners are turning off, the cars down below are turning off, and you can hear the advertisement in front of you, his voice as if he's turning up the volume. He says, "Hello and welcome. I'm glad to see you were able to make it today. Everybody roll me a culture. Is it culture? No, culture is the other game. What is this one?
Would it be not streetwise, but human perception?
No, something you would have heard. No, streetwise. Ooh, streetwise.
Well, there's also, hold on.
It's someone you would recognize. Something you would recognize from the street. That's streetwise.
Okay, it was either that or local expert.
Whichever you feel like rolling.
The higher one.
Was that your streetwise? Okay, there you go. Same number. That's funny, actually.
Oh, I forgot to do the D10. That's the exclamation. Oh, shoot! Do I get to roll it again?
Yep. Just put the exclamation point this time. Oh.
Oh, well, that evened it out. Do I have to roll that one again?
No.
Midnight knows everything.
So I have.
Give me your GM folder.
Roll. Both of you got 35.
I know
Yeah, but
that
But no one has a broken ankle, so I got a little more.
guy. But I know that.
Okay. Hector, you don't seem to
That's
recognize
the second time now that the billboards have been hacked.
this icon, but you're still a smart person. You know it's probably Mr. Flash. Bishop, you have seen this icon dancing in a couple different areas of parts of the city that have been hacked over the last couple years. Usually all that Mr. Flash does is leave a copy of his icon really, really small in an advert somewhere, just so that it's like a haha, I got you. Nate and No One, you have both seen this icon talking to people in the past, but did not realize it was Mr. Flash until recently. Coming to this meeting, both of you actually knew Mr. Flash usually shows up as a white mask, white top hat, white jazz hands, and that usually Mr. Flash likes to make a show of his appearance. So he will have pyrotechnics, or he'll change all of the advertisements on a building, or he'll do what he did here in showing you that he has.
Aren't you guys right next to each other?
Something in this section of the city, because he was able to turn off the cars in the
Hey,
street
Buggy,
below, and the
before you go back up, can I have a peanut butter
3 buildings that you are
Baileys?
both on and near.
Yes, please.
You also know that most recently that you've heard, Nate, you heard that one of your contacts that works jobs kind of like you, the last job they did was to track down a puppy for a child that was living in south of the city. The child had been missing their puppy for about 3 months, and had put up posters and that kind of stuff, and had pretty much given it up, because if the puppy's gone missing, they've probably gotten eaten by now, and the job was to find that puppy. No One the last job that you know of for Mr. Flash was somebody wanting a mint poster of some movie called Star Wars.
I don't understand why anyone thinks that it's a good idea to have some wars up in the stars. Like, what are you gonna do with that?
Precisely. And both were able to both succeeded and both got a payout. For Nate, the job you heard, the payout was a 55-gallon drum of imported whiskey. The job for the Star Wars poster.
There wasn't even stars on the poster. Was there?
You don't know. You didn't actually see the poster.
Oh.
It was for an old film, an old two-dimensional film called Star Wars. And the payment for it was a full set of Agatha Christie novels.
Nice.
That were like second printing or third printing. But it was a full set of paper printed novels. Maybe, perhaps.
Thank you.
So, that is what you guys come to terms with.
I want to know how that is done. I assume they'd have to be nearby.
Maybe
Every-
they just know someone?
Everything that you know of how net hacking has had to work since the crash, Bishop is absolutely right. In theory, they would have to be nearby.
Mm-hmm.
So the voice turns up. He says, glad you could make it. I hear you've been doing jobs in our fair city. And as he does that, a small hologram of LN, of Lumens Nouveau, hovers in between his hands. It's like a light bluish color, but you can see that it's a map of the city rotating. He says, I have a simple task for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, all I need you to do is find me the Jester's Cap! And he claps his hands, and sparks and magical, like, fairy dust, blah, 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 floats out of his hands. And as he brings his hands together, you see what looks like a small piece of cardboard this size. On the back, it says, Magic the Gathering. As it's rotating in his hand, you can see it has a picture of a man with a mask very similar to the one he's wearing, kind of, and a what looks like a blue and white jester's cap from medieval times. There's something printed on right underneath the picture, but you're not sure what.
Are we looking for the card or the hat he's wearing?
The card, of course.
But you, okay. Any clues?
Oh yes, I know where you can get it. 1 second, I have to answer a question real quick. I know where you can find one, and he once again it's the map of Lumens Nouveau, and he starts doing this, and he's whispering, "Enhance, enhance, enhance." And as he's blowing the picture up more and more and more, or enhancing the picture more and more and more, you can see that he is drilling into a section of Old Nolans, the southern area of the city that is pretty much just destroyed and sunken. You know, it's been a lot of the area of Old Nolans has been flagged for being rebuilt, or for historical landmarks, that kind of stuff, to bring up into the city, but most of it has not yet been gone through. There are roving bands of gangs down there, a lot of threats, and you know that there is the south wall, which is the Militech perimeter, that covers most of Old Nolans. That being said, it is not down in a larger section of Nolans. It is in... Where are you? It's like the most northmost section of Old Nolans.
Okay, so like right at that pink spot?
I actually just put a square around it.
Yeah. So we have to get over the wall?
Yep.
That includes climbing.
Or you can go through IC3, Industrial Zone 3, and make your way around.
What's in those industrial zones?
Industrial zones are areas that have warehouses and factories.
And that PD, that's the top?
What PD?
The little purple square next to it says Dixie Ranger Office.
Yep, that's where the Dixie Ranger office is. The office where the kind of highway patrol / big time cops for Dixie, which is Lumens Nouveau isn't part of Dixie yet, but Dixie wants it to be. They have a grouping of a handful of agents out here in the city, and that's where they are stationed.
So there's obviously a reason for the wall. Do we know what it is?
Mostly to keep the roving bands of gangs out, and to keep the people in from going out to Old Nolans.
Okay, but like, because there's lots of gangs there?
There are gangs out there, and they tend to be dangerous scavenger gangs.
Okay.
However,
So I know
there's also a lot of nomads families out in the swamps down south, and other people down in the swamps down south.
Wait,
Okay, so go ahead and give me anybody who would like to see if they know anybody from that might be down in that area gang-wise, or know what gangs are down there. Go ahead and roll me streetwise. Go ahead and roll trading. Actually, roll streetwise first.
Oh, we already did roll trading.
Oh, that's your trading. Okay. Okay.
That's no one's, but up above is both Nate's and I's trading.
I see Nate's trading and I see your trading.
Yeah. Also, thank you for the likes, Blacksmith. You're a rock star. I've muted so the other people in the game can't hear me, but you guys can. Warm ups, good to see you. Hi, Kimiko. Welcome to the stream. I don't like to interrupt during the live sessions for role playing games, but when we're all rolling, it's fine. Hope everybody's having a good evening. Also, Daniel, I know we didn't do it while you were here, but peanut butter Bailey's is the bomb.
Yeah, I really wanted to. I'm looking for it here, but I haven't been able to find it.
Well, you know, you can get it here 5 weeks from now.
True that. True that. You'll have it emptied. You have to get more.
Yeah, probably. At this rate, this is my second night drinking in a row.
Wow. That actually says something.
Is that a record?
Yeah, he doesn't usually drink.
Oh.
And not usually multiple days in a row, too. It's been that kind of week. Okay. No one. Hector. Bishop. Okay, that's your trading. Nate, were you looking to figure out the gang situation?
No, that 35 I rolled is as good as I'm going to get with that skill, so I'm going to leave it alone.
All right, the three of you, thinking on now that you know it's down in Nolans, Old Nolans, you have heard that the Steel Crows are a large when you think Dysotopia games like Road Warriors, you think Steel Crows. The Steel Crows are the kind of dirty, oily, violent, mostly vehicle but otherwise violent, blade wielding gangers out in Old Orleans. And they sometimes go down into the bayou or the backwaters, but for the most part, the families and other things down in the backwaters keep them at bay. There is a Native American group down in the swamp. There are families in the swamp, and there's other things in the swamp. You have heard stories of cyber psychos that disappeared into the swamp and became cryptids.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I want to be a cryptid.
You don't want to be around those cryptids. The point of the matter is, with your guys' trade roles, you have noted that the areas of trading, such as the trading post, which is down in the swamp, and other areas in the backwaters and other families that live down there. Some of them are not nomads. Some of them are just families, backwater families that live down there. But they don't deal with the Steel Crows, and the Steel Crows don't deal with them. When you have traversed down into the backwaters, if any of you have, and I believe Bishop has that at a minimum, no one, I believe, has, because sometimes the night market's down there. You travel usually down the inch, through Lake Salvador, and out into the swamp, the bayou. Or down Lake Algiers, down into the swamp. You don't ever travel through Old Orleans.
I have a question.
Yes.
I'm assuming the boat made it back in one piece and was okay, right?
Uh-huh.
Do we still have
So can we use it?
Yeah.
Okay. So then I would.
That was meant to be a boat for you as part of the payment from
Right. Onyx. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted. I mean, since we don't technically know the outcome, I just didn't want to make an assumption that it came back
So
in
do
one
me a
piece.
favor, don't destroy the boat in the play-by-post, and you guys will have the boat now.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
I'm good with
It
this.
does have a couple of bullet holes that you guys had to ding out and fix when you got back, but
Right.
other than that, you're fine.
Okay. So, have we figured out the ability to call it yet?
You didn't install a remote control?
Well, no, that's what I'm asking, because we'd taken it out for the initial maiden journey to the oil rig. Then there was analysis done. The question is, can we call it yet or not?
So, with technology being what it is, the place where it is stored is safe. It's a hidden dock.
Okay.
Somewhere off of Loch Brendan. It is plugged into a network port there, so that when it's parked there, so that when you call from your agent, you can send it a coordinates of where to come. You cannot call it directly and have them pick you up.
Wait, I think you just didn't you just contradict yourself?
No, if it was floating out in Lake Algiers, you can't call it on the phone.
Oh, right, I know, but it's parked and we have a way to contact it now. Is what I was asking.
You set up a specific way to call it, like a drone. It can head back to that point in Loch Brendan and park there, so that you can call it with an agent.
Right.
But if you left it like
no,
at Eddings Point, it's
no.
there.
Right, understood. No. That's not what I was. Okay. Yeah. So then, where's? I don't have the map up. I'm very sorry.
No, you're fine.
Where is the closest distance between us and the water?
So you guys right now are in the Central Business District, the center of the business district.
Right, which is middle north, right?
If you walk straight south, you would walk south, go under the superhighway
Mhm.
into Nouvelle Prosperity, through Lafayette Square, and then it would pick you up at the southern tip of Lafayette Square.
Okay. So
If
then
you want straight there.
I will communicate that to the others that if we head to the water, I'm not going to type it out. If we head to the water, then we can have the boat pick us up, and we can go down through the inch through the lake and get to the trading post.
All right. Sounds good. It won't be suspicious us like showing up in the tourist section with our weird ass boat, right?
Well, Lafayette Square has a bunch of piers, and people coming and going all the time, so it wouldn't seem super strange.
Okay. Sounds good.
The most super strange thing is going to be that you have a boat that drives out from Loch Brendan by itself and meets you. That's the only strange part.
You just can't see the driver. Really small.
He said, so you're still standing there on the rooftop with Mr. Flash. He says, do you think the person who has this card is named John?
No.
Bring the card to me, and I'll see that you are paid accordingly. And there's like a bunch of fizzles and pops, and he starts disappearing in wavy lines as if it's a dream sequence. And then the ad flickers back that says real water from Biotechnica, and the loud droning of the air conditioners start back up, and you can hear cars down below starting back up with a pop and a hiss, and then people yelling and cussing each other out. And then you were left once again in the medium rain and heavy humidity of the Lumens Nouveau night. It is about 10:30.
I say we start heading south.
South it is.
How do we get off the roof without jumping? Jumping's bad.
He's loud right now. I imagine you guys are going to take the reverse from how you got down to get back up.
Wait. But we're on a different route.
So
Is there an
Hector,
exit?
the air conditioners and cars down below all turned off when he did that. It couldn't be an EMP because he controlled it. How do you think he did that?
I'm just spitballing here, but I wonder if he's loaded malware or a virus on here previously. Scopes out different areas that he wants to use, and then sets it up ahead of time so they can access it remotely.
Yeah, computers are complicated. How do we get down off the roof? I'm not climbing up there.
But how would he get it into the cars?
Is there an exit? Do I have to roll?
Well, what?
I don't know.
For an exit, I don't want to jump off the roof.
No, they would help push you onto the roof over here.
You mean they're gonna yeet me up there?
We're gonna do the reverse pyramid thing and just have one person. Yeah.
So I need an
That guy's
athletics
just-
roll from everyone, and then
Minus
can we take like we'll wait another 5 minutes and then we'll take a break.
Okay.
What is my athletics -2, right?
Yeah.
Does she get a bonus because we're helping her though?
Oh yeah, you get a bonus of +2, so it evens out.
So 14
So
total
12.
for her.
Yeah. Beat a 10. That's all. Just beat a 10.
Okay.
That beats a 10. Holy crap. Don't worry about it, Bishop.
He
Oh, too late.
yeeted me.
Yeah. Oh well, that's not a bad roll either.
He yeeted
Yeah, you guys yeet no one up onto the roof, and then Hector realizes that there's a small wedge in the brick of the building, like the concrete and brick where it meets, where he's got a really good foothold, and essentially kind of leverages and swings the rest of you up, and then does this kind of jack stand push and lands superhero style on the roof next to it.
Please tell me that when you look up from the pavement in your 3-point stance, you yell parkour.
Hector has no intention of yelling parkour
Yeah,
whatsoever.
I didn't think so.
It's a lucky phrase.
Yeah, it's a lucky phrase. It did wonders for you.
Yeah.
No, that's not a phrase's fault. That's my fault.
Don't blame the phrase. All right, so you guys are on the roof. You make your way back down to the street, and you note that now the rain has begun to fall a little bit heavier. Not faster, like the rain isn't falling in a huge, massive wave, but the droplets are heavier. And let's go ahead and take a break.
Okay. We can do that.
Hey. Did everybody take a break?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Did we get off the roof?
Yes.
Cool.
We yeeted no one back up the roof.
Yeah. Well, my hands are going to be pretty sticky for the next 5 minutes, so that's a good sign. Barbecuey.
Uh-huh.
These ribs have been staring at me for like an hour and a half, so I really need to eat them. So
It's all good, man.
if I need you to roll for me, will
Yeah,
you?
it's fine. Yeah.
Thank you. I was taking notes. I actually have 7 windows open, but I was taking notes earlier, but I sort of lost track. We're getting an artifact, right? The Magic the Gathering card.
We are getting an artifact, the Magic the Gathering card Jester's Cap, yes. Which is actually one of my favorite artworks from the original set.
Isn't it like $300 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you the number of them I ripped up playing Iron Man back in the day. Same for Mox's and
Naomi
Lotus's.
says, "Wait, why?"
Why would you?
So so you have to remember that back at that point in time, they weren't worth anything. Okay, it was beta, so there was no secondary market. There was nothing. They were sold for $3 a pack, and that's exactly what they were worth. And so there was a variant for the hardcore that anytime a card was destroyed or discarded from play, you tore it in half. And we used to play it all the time in beta because no
That
one.
was tradition.
Yeah, it was kind of tradition at the time. And there was another rule called ante, where you would randomly take a card from your deck. After you shuffled and cut, you would take your card from your deck and you'd flip it up, and the winner of the game got that card. That's actually how I got my first Lotus. I was playing a 70-cent commons deck versus somebody that had all the Power 9 cards, and I beat them with my 70-cent deck because they drew terribly, and they needed the Lotus to get everything to go, and it was their only Lotus in the deck, and so I won. And I got
you
a
just
Lotus.
sucked.
Well, that
could have been
too.
the reason you
Yeah,
won.
probably that too. So yeah, I mean, there was back when before any of it. Now, like, fast forward 2 years later, we already were kicking ourselves because Moxes were like $90 and the Lotus was like 120. And so we already knew at that point that it was dumb. But, again, in the moment, you didn't know, and what are you going to do?
Yeah.
But I ended up selling a set for $3,500 of beta cards that I had held onto, so that was good. I mean, I'd be a richer man now, but I needed it at the time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. That's good.
Wait, you had a whole beta set?
Yeah.
Was that new?
Nice.
I sold it to pay taxes and partially pay for a move.
Cool.
Not anytime recently. This was back in like 99, 2000. Something like that. So they were like 8 years old at that point? Somewhere in that neighborhood?
What's up?
What the hell's going on with my mask? That's just... Uh-oh. What just happened? Did I run out of batteries? That was disturbing.
You jacked out.
Apparently. Yeah, it must have. Alright, I'm going to take my ears off for a minute, then I won't be able to hear anyone. I'm going to try and replace the batteries real quick.
Oh,
If I
that
can
Mark.
see.
Can you believe him? Sheesh.
Ow.
Yeah, that joke's not funny if nobody goes along with it.
You know what? I'm not even committed to it tonight. I'll change the bat. I'll try and fix it later. I'm just gonna run without the mask. It'll be all right.
So, do we get to see Bishop's face?
No, he has the mask on still. Mark the player. Here, if it makes you feel better, I'll put my glasses on.
No, I get it, man.
For some reason, that thing feels like it weighs 900 pounds tonight. Like the back of my neck is killing me just from having worn it this long. I'm actually surprised I made it this long. I was trying to be committed, but I failed. Whoa.
How late are we going? We go until 11 your time?
I'm just here drinking. That's the short form. Oh man. Okay. I'm in. We're good. All right. Yeah, I really wish there was a faster way for me to type whenever Bishop needs to say something. Because I type fast, but I don't type speed of thought fast. So did you get a smoothie to go with your barbecue?
No.
Why don't you just make a barbecue smoothie?
That's profane. No one would commit such a sin.
Well, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure you could summon the devil that way.
Yeah, the god of bad taste.
What kind of barbecue did you get? Ribs or?
Yeah, ribs. Yeah, I always get the ribs.
We were super spoiled when we lived in Michigan. Because, well, I should say, before I met my wife, she had never had barbecue. She had kind of lived under a rock, never been to a movie in a movie theater, all that kind of stuff. So, I made the mistake because I traveled for work around the country. I happen to know that the best place in the country is in St. Louis, and it's called Pappy's. And they open at 11 and they close whenever they run out. Every day.
Yeah.
And the line just to get in at opening is already an hour and a half long. So I made the mistake of, I'm all like, well, if you're going to have barbecue, let's get you the best possible. And so we went to Pappy's. And then you can imagine the conversation every time we had barbecue anywhere else.
Yeah. Right.
It was like, this isn't Pappy's. I'm like, what have I done? What have I done? Anyways, the place near us in Michigan was like the 4th best place in the nation. Like, always went to competitions
No, you
and
clicked on
stuff.
a bunch of buttons.
It was really good. So
Was it in hell?
It was not in hell, and we actually got them to cater our wedding. So that was really good. Even though they forgot about catering our wedding, that's also a true story.
Yeah, it is. Deserves to be beat.
Yeah. Even though I paid them, they forgot about our wedding. But to their credit, they still showed up to our wedding on time.
Nice.
So that was good.
Maybe.
It was just extra layers of stress that you didn't need.
Extra layers of stress that Lexi never knew about, and she was so appreciative of the fact that I never told her until after.
That's actually still... So, a couple of us got together and did breakfast in that little pool hall area for everybody, and that's still one of my favorite early morning stories. Is Gift and I just getting up and starting, and
You guys were a machine too.
we had to be. You had a popular group.
It was.
Group. All right. So you guys make your way back down. Oh, is everybody here? Are you here, Billy?
Why am I speaking for him?
I'm here.
I don't know.
I
No one knows.
My hands are still occupied, but I should be done in like 2 minutes.
Name of your tape.
Shut up, Mark.
Your candy? This candy?
They're sticky. They're not evil.
Isn't it right here?
There's no big bag of candy.
Oh, then you hit it.
God cries every time your hands are sticky.
All right. You make your way back down to the street, and it's now heavy rain droplets, with a pretty regular frequency, but not like they're not falling in a sheet yet. The air still is fairly humid, and very warm. As you make your way south, you note that the rain's coming down hard enough that most people are finding their way under awnings or umbrellas. It's one of those nights, especially this late, where people are deciding just to be indoors. And so, as such, by the time you make it to the tourism district, you don't really see anybody out. There's a couple people out enjoying the weather, and more than a fair share of the homeless packing it in. But other than that, you don't see anybody. And by the time you make it to the French Quarter, yes.
How long, from having done it before, would it take the boat to get from where it's parked to where we're going, roughly? 10 minutes. So I will call it with my agent when we're 10 minutes from the water.
Okay.
Just FYI.
So, like, when you get to the French Quarter. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys make your way to the French Quarter, which has a lot more of the historical sites that have either been rebuilt or brought up and rebuilt, or completely redesigned and rebuilt. And so you get to see some kind of late night views of a fairly beautiful architecture as you make your way down to the docks. The docks here off of Lafayette Square, or the French Quarter, are traditional docks, unlike some of the more updated docks that you get around the rest of the city. These are built down at water level, and they are built kind of in a much older style. And as you are walking up, you see, did you guys rename it? The boat?
No, not yet.
I think it was like the family crest, I think.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. We have not yet.
You see it moving across the waters near black on the black water. Arrive up at the dock, kind of, and slow to a stop. It is a fan boat, and it is a large fan boat, so it wasn't quiet, but it is matte black, and the water is very dark. Out here in Lafayette Square, the French Quarter, there is a not complete lack, but very hollow advertising. Neon lights are like very, very few and far between in Lafayette Square in the French Quarter, and so the lights here are a lot darker than you would see in other parts of the city, and as such, that's part of why that boat is near invisible when it arrives up there. Yeah.
So the www.jackgirls.com has stopped chasing no one at this point?
That stopped when you guys left the Central Business District. Yeah.
Okay.
The advertisement in the tourism district is mostly for the tourism that's there. If they had advertisements that followed you, like the Central Business District, you'd have advertisements from all over the world playing in the tourism district. So those ones mostly just advertise the things in the tourism district. The French Quarter, you actually see paper advertisements and billboards and stuff that you would see from the time period they're trying to replicate. It's very similar to the Historic Gardens District in those huge plantations. It's very similar. There is hardly any neon, hardly any hollows, other than like the hollows that are up for teaching purposes or educational purposes. And most of those are government hollows anyway, so they're not going to be garish and over-sexualized. like www.largeinCharge.com.
Large in charge ladies.
LargeinChargeLadies.com. My bad.
They're ladies.
Yeah. LICL. And you make your way out onto the boat. As you kind of settle in, you see a small waterproof display that Bishop and Hector installed up near the front of the boat, but facing back to where the seats are. A white face, gender-neutral face with bright blue lips and bright blue eyes, pops onto the screen and says, "Well, hello. I'm glad to see that you are back with us. It's been a while, as my chronometer is saying. Where can I take you this evening?" So that is the base Delamain personality. They didn't change it. They didn't change it very much.
I'm typing. Sorry, it takes me a minute.
I like when you guys just have a conversation and then Bishop will interrupt the conversation to talk about something 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I know, right? It's so 5 minutes ago. All right, here we go.
Hello Delamain, we are heading through the inch to the lake and then to the trading post to the south in the swamps.
Interesting. I do not have a record for the trading post. Do you have the location of this trading post? And as he's asking for the location, I say he, but it's an AI. It starts programming the route, and you can see it turns west on Lake Algiers. Algiers?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, towards the Mississippi River, or up the Mississippi River, and then turns down into the Inch, which is a, what do we call that, Mark? It's a...
Isthmus?
Lock.
Lock. It's a lock, yeah.
Yeah, but being that it's late at night, the lock actually has a smaller opening for smaller boats that runs down the side of it, and so you guys catch that and go south into Lake Salvador. Lake Salvador itself is a fairly large open lake with two huge islands in the center that have been converted for construction, but it looks like no construction has yet taken place. There's huge cyclone fencing, like 15-foot cyclone fencing with razor wire on top and a whole bunch of construction materials. And as you guys are moving by, you can see flickering light from inside the cyclone fencing, and you're smart enough to know that there's probably a couple homeless encampments in there. And as you're driving by the islands, you also see small, very small skiffs and canoes and like smaller boats that people could use to get out here that are hidden among the brush and the small bushes on the outside of the lake. Where was I? Algiers. Thank you.
So what is the closest he's got in his UPS? Or in his map?
The bottom edge of Lake Salvador.
Why am I... Oh, right, because we're going down through the Inch. Got it. Okay, so is it the one that's highlighted there by you?
The one that's oh, so Mr. Flash up here. I can't ping it. Damn it.
Yeah, Mr. Flash up here. Yeah.
That's where the area in Old Nolans was.
Oh, Oh, so it's not at the trading post. I'm sorry. For some reason,
when you guys were talking about knowing what trading connections you might have that might have more information, that's what I was referring to.
Oh.
It's in the northern end of Old Nolans.
Oh.
Which is why I was saying you could go through the Industrial Zone 3 and around the wall and then into Old Nolans, but it depends on what route you guys wanted to take.
I don't want to go over a wall. Ow.
Right now, you guys are around where I have highlighted with my blue square in Lake Salvador.
Okay.
So you are in Lake Salvador, which is south of Lumens Nouveau.
Yeah.
Kind of right across from where a hastily put up tin and concrete brick wall has been put up between the Miltech compound and Old Nolans.
But could we actually land like here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so
all of the brown of Old Nolans is essentially structures. Old houses, old businesses that are crumbling and decayed, covered with, what's that plant that everyone hates?
The creeping vine.
Poison oak?
Creeping vine?
Yeah.
Possibly poison oak, but creeping vine covers a lot of this stuff. The swamp has started to take back a lot of the older buildings, and so that's what Old Nolans mostly is. But you also have these tatted up violent gangs of the Steel Crows.
So let me clarify my question. Does it look like we could land there and there's not a bunch of fires, or it's dark and not being used? Or
perception check.
Yeah, okay. Perception. There we go. Okay.
So, you do not see, as you're kind of peering out over the lake through the islets in your mask, which I'm assuming your mask is off.
No, it's turned off, but it's still
off.
on. It fritzed out in real life,
I
so
will
I took
I will always assume that your mask is in place until you tell me it's not, because it's kind of something about your character.
Right.
But your mask is off. It's not producing light. And you do not see any light coming from that. The only light you see is from the Miltech compound splashing over, the floodlights splashing over the tin and concrete fencing. And when I say concrete, I mean concrete brick, not like concrete.
Right.
That puts up a wall between the city of Lumens Nouveau and Old Nolans.
And it's not like Miltech is going to shoot at people just walking on the other side of that wall. Right.
You've heard stories.
Okay.
They are afraid of threats coming in. They'll probably try to arrest you before shooting you, but you've heard stories.
Okay. Well, it's still the fastest route to get to where we need to go.
It's the fastest route, and with any hope, because it's so close to the south wall, you might not come across many of the Steel Crows.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the boat to wait for 2 hours. And if we're not back, have it go back to Barron Square.
It is currently 11:30, so it will come back at 1:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll land and Bishop will say, everybody out. And Hector, Bishop shows you what he's doing with the timer. Since we can both do it. Gotcha. In case something happens to me.
I'll make sure you get out.
All right, you guys get out of the boat, and it powers back up and pushes away, which is fairly loud. and it maybe you start to realize that maybe you guys should think about an onboard, offboard motor as well. That may not. You don't want really a propeller because that might cut apart something in the water, but something that you can make it a little bit quieter for quieter things.
Yeah.
As it buzzes off, and you are left in the pretty serious darkness.
You totally did the opposite of what I was saying.
Okay.
It's staying here for 2 hours and then leaving.
Oh, okay. I did misunderstand.
Is it
okay.
hiding at least because we are in
it is matte black, and the water is pretty much matte black. So it really does a good job of stealthing, and that may have been the reason that the nomads that had it originally had it this color. But it fits in pretty well with the overgrown docks that you pull up into. And you kind of shove you can't shove the fans under the dock, but most of the rest of the boat can shove under the dock. So it takes up very little space, all said and done.
Perfect.
No problem. Thank you for
no problem.
advising. You see that you are in an area of fairly small houses, maybe 2 or 3 bedroom houses. Most of them have the roofs have collapsed in, but the outer walls are still there. And about 75% of every structure has been overgrown by grass, trees, wildlife, and this vine that is it kudzu?
Kudzu.
No, not kudzu.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Okay, this creeping vine that has covered almost everything, telephone lines, like it is a really serious issue, yeah. But it covers almost everything here. And as you kind of pass through this area, everyone give me another perception check. All right.
I didn't do a perception check. But we know how perception is. Where's?
I believe perception. Yeah,
Okay.
it's in your skills, top left.
There's lots of black around here.
Darn it.
Remind me to go over some macros with you. Oh, wow.
Me.
Okay.
See all the things.
Nate, you so as you guys are making your way through kind of this really small grouping of houses, it was almost like a cul-de-sac of houses. You make your way out into an open area. So there's a fairly large area in the center of this area of Old Nolans that has been cut back, sprayed down, and construction has kind of started. And really by construction, I just mean that it looks like roadways and concrete has been re-poured. Areas have been cleaned up. Also, the south wall, the Militech wall, perimeter wall, in this area, this big open area, that's where a gigantic gate is. A gate large enough that if opened, they could probably drive several tanks side by side. The gate is currently closed. But you also note that while most of the wall is concrete, brick, and tin, this area is all chain link. And it is pretty much open to the Militech compound. They have half walls and bulletproof safety glass and stuff up, so people taking pot shots from Old Nolans into the Militech compound won't find it a very easy target, but they can pretty much see everything that's going down in this open area. You can, yeah, definitely with those 2 rules. Bishop and no one, Well, Hector actually sees the cameras as well. There's 2 cameras rotating, looking out at this area, but it just seems that they're recording on a. They're not like looking for anything specific. You don't think they're just kind of recording an area. Bishop and no one see this patrol. It is a very thin patrol. It is a 2 people and what looks like some kind of large dog. This is probably a good time to mention there aren't a lot of animals in Lumens Nouveau. Most animals in Lumens Nouveau disappeared under mysterious circumstances or just straight weren't imported when Lumens Nouveau was built. Remember that most of this was underwater, and so they had to bring it up. There are very strict and very, very expensive licenses that you have to get for pets to bring them in. Most of the Beavervilles straight up don't allow pets, even fish. And so, sure. But since you guys live in M Nation, normally in an area like M Nation, if this were a different sci-fi setting, you would see lots of animals, roving bands of dogs and cats, rats, that kind of stuff. You don't see that here. You might see the occasional rat, but you don't see cats and dogs, because if you're having a hard time feeding yourself, you're probably not going to really focus on feeding your pets unless you're fattening them up. I agree. You should yell parkour when running up to the dog. That being said, you do see 3 patrolling groups. Each of the patrolling groups that's rotating around the compound, which is north of you, is 2 people and some kind of dog, some breed of dog. If you want to roll education, you can to figure out what kind of dog it is. Otherwise, it's just a dog.
It's a good boy.
It's a good boy.
Good boy gonna want to bite me?
It's a Miltech trained dog. Yes, it's gonna want to bite you. It looks to be some kind of Mastiff mixed with a German Shepherd.
Oh, that can bite all of me.
And it also looks like it's definitely been genetically engineered.
Oof.
Yeah, so is there another way we can go? That's not going to be...
You could go all the way around the area in Lumens Nouveau, in Old Nolans, and end up at it. You could figure out a way, timing-wise, to just kind of cross this open area. You could take the boat back out and go all the way around this area of Old Nolans into the industrial zone and cross the industrial zone, hoping not to be picked up there, and then... So, I mean, you're about
a
mile from where you need to be.
That's not... Okay. So, I guess I need a little more clarification. I'm sorry. So, I see where the Miltech compound is to the north.
Yes.
And I see the open area between the 2 portions of Old Orleans where we need to go to the right portion there. Are you saying they're patrolling the gray area?
No, I apologize. They're patrolling this area.
Right. But it is open and they can see down into there.
The 3 teams are patrolling this area. And that area is over a mile square.
That's a big area.
Right.
It's a big area, 3 teams. So you would probably have to run between 2 groups, 2 patrols. But there's still a chance you'd make it in between the 2.
Yeah, I think that's probably what I would recommend we try and do.
Remind me to remind you, Mark, that we need to add this map as one of your views.
Yeah, I know. I was just sitting here going...
We use it almost every week, and I keep forgetting to remind you.
Yep, it's all good. I got it. I'm adding it to the stream right now.
We use this map a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's a living map that all of the players made. Okay, so the idea would be that you would. I'm going to need a. Yeah, it's a German Mastiff Shepherd. Is there a tactics roll? I thought there was. Give me 1 second.
Tracking,
It's under the
conceal,
middle column under education.
tactics. Yes, there is. Good call, Jay. I don't know why, but I can never find anything on this character sheet.
I studied it for a while because I like to know where my skills are. I don't have anything in tactics, but at least I know where it is.
I mean, I got you got a stat at least.
Well, true, but I don't want to I don't want to give false advice if I get like a -2.
Well, but that's part of Nate's charm.
Because then it'll be like, and I really think no one should just charge ahead.
I did put 3 points in tactics.
I'm gonna need a
Yeah,
roll, but I think Hector's the only one that actually legitimately, even if you don't have any skill ranks in it, you're the only one that would legitimately have it, I believe.
I actually did put skill ranks in it as well.
So if I can get a tactics from you, and then a perception check from everyone, please make sure you're marking. So let's do this first. Do your tactics first.
Sorry, I have a maker. I beat him to the punch. My bad.
Send again. You're good.
I'm gonna spend 2 points of luck on this.
Oh, we have luck.
I forgot about luck.
I think Mark did too.
Yeah.
Just tell me when I can roll.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead and roll perception, Naomi. Okay. And now I need everyone to roll.
Oh no, that was a D20. Never mind.
Jeez, cheater.
So those 35s are coming.
Yeah, no doubt, right?
I got mine legit style. You got somebody else in
1d20
here
exclamation point.
using some loaded dice, I think.
1D100. Oh, great. I'm not very perceptive.
You would still roll a 12 even with a D100.
Yeah, I know.
All right, so that will be one thing, and then this is going to be to run. So an athletics check to make the run. All right,
Am I
so
still -2?
yeah. Hector is spotting out the patrols and where they're going and where they're coming from, and the rest of you are kind of eyeballing when a good time to run would be, and making sure that you know where the people are, and all of you succeeded at that roll.
Question.
Yes,
Could I roll stealth as well?
you could,
Thank you.
if you're attempting to be stealthy. I do think, though, that being stealthy halves your movement.
I couldn't find that anywhere.
Yeah. I've got so many different rule systems in my brain right now, you're probably right.
Well, that's what I always did in my game, but I looked at it in this game and I thought, I guess there's just no change.
Maybe it's just you running while trying to stay behind stuff.
Yeah, maybe.
You gotta sing the Mission Impossible song when you do it.
Yeah, that's part of it. That's in the last paragraph.
I mean, that seems like a given for Nate.
Yeah.
Dun,
no,
dun,
good.
dun, dun,
With his
dun.
guitar.
Where is that guitar coming from?
I need an athletics from you, Hector, and from Bishop.
Yep, you sure do.
Oh, sorry, Hector's got me one. Nate and Bishop. Billy's on top of it. He's like, what do you mean? I already rolled.
Woo!
There we go.
Sorry, I was half my macros got deleted, so I had to redo my stealth one. What am I rolling first?
Athletics. Or stealth. It doesn't matter. Just tell me which one's which.
Well, you should know what that is.
Mission Impossible stealth.
Yeah.
And do you also need athletics?
I do.
A very respectable role, I should say.
I like how Nate Mission Impossible stealth, and then you're yelling athletics at me.
Athletics.
Then I'm doing the.
I also have stealth.
Skipping behind them.
You know,
Skipping, going, parkour, ow.
Because he's so empathic, his empathy is so high. I think he's gonna hobble on one leg, just in honor of no one. You don't want to leave nobody behind.
You don't want to leave no one behind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because that's just not.
He
cool.
duct tapes their feet together so they're in a 3-legged race.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm very sorry. I have to do a quick 2-minute AFK. I'll be right back.
Yeah,
fine.
you're good.
No problem.
So I also wrote stealth because I actually have it, and if it doesn't have my movement, then
Is
great.
what
Yeah,
you said, right?
that is correct.
Yeah. Oh, while he's doing that, I wanted to show you this. I made this today.
Oh, hold on. I've got the map. I've got the map up, so I can't see you. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Kill that. Okay, now throw it up there.
So it's a bag. That
Oh, yeah, with the thing in it.
It's got my.
Oh, that's not what I thought it was.
No, this is my tarot cards,
Yes.
and this is my runes.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I totally thought that was the thing that you were putting the brick that you were giving to Kale in.
The brick I'm giving to Kale?
Yes, the piece of Beskar.
Oh, that's done.
Oh, okay.
That was Christmas, yeah.
Good.
Yeah. No, that one was really funny. Because we had it in a big Tupperware that had alien script on it, and it was sitting in our living room for a week and a half with the alien script on it. And I gave him the Beskar, wrapped around the Beskar was a note written in the same alien script, and I handed him the translation and said, "Merry Christmas." So he's translating the letter and he's trying to figure out what it means because it was kind of a riddle. And then he thought about it and he left the room to go finish it. And then he comes back in and he's holding the letter and he looks at me, and then out of the corner of his eye, you can see his vision shift
Mm-hmm.
to the box, and he goes, like his mouth went really wide. He
Nice.
was really, really surprised. Yeah, it was good.
Nice.
Have you caught up on Discovery?
That would be even farther down that list that I sent you the
Now
other
that
day.
It's on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, no, I have not. I still have. I left. Remember,
Yeah.
I left it. I rage quit it.
WandaVision ends tomorrow.
No, it ends tonight.
It ends tomorrow for the rest of us.
Yeah, it ends tonight at midnight for me.
Although, maybe Naomi and I'll stay up until midnight
Yep.
and watch WandaVision tonight.
I'm not tired in any way.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that.
See, and then we can compare notes after.
I'm gonna be watching it from bed, man, which means I'm gonna be like this. 5 minutes in.
How's that different than normal?
True. Fair point.
Did you buy that emote yesterday? Gosh darn
I
it!
did.
Oh, thank
yeah.
God! Thank God!
That was the first emote that I clicked on and went, "Oh my goodness!" And then I bought it and saved it to each of my costume
Yep.
profiles.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
the first one I've done that to. Mark. So for the rest of you, Mark got me started on Fortnite, which I've been playing with Malcolm, my youngest. But Mark was
No,
instrumental.
to be fair,
To be fair.
Malcolm actually had been asking you first.
He had been asking me for a while, and it was Mark that did it.
He asks
You-
me, but I can't play.
Yeah, and it's a game that I'm not. I have fun playing it. It is not the type of game I usually play at all, and I don't usually play a lot of video games. But I have fun with it. Were you waiting for a delivered smoothie, or were you just making a comment? About
Just an
smoothie?
overall report of my situation.
Of his
Well, that
smoothiness,
saddens me.
his
That
lack of
saddens me.
smoothie.
I did it all for the cookie, and I got cookies today and pie. So I'm sorry to hear
Make
that.
it cookies.
Wow, you just said F your diabetes. I'm gonna do it all.
Yeah, I kind of was. Oh, and risotto.
And risotto, which is one of my
Risotto's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it needed to be a little more al dente. Seasoning on point.
Swear.
Chef's
Next
kiss.
time I come over to your house, I'm gonna make the mushiest risotto.
No,
So,
that's the
Are we
opposite
still
of al
mid-stealth,
dente.
mid-run?
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
You guys time yourselves well, and as you make your way across this open space, because you all rolled extremely well, it isn't until that you are almost all the way across, both Nate and No One hobbling in the back, that dogs start to bark and alarms start to sound. Can I get No One and Hector to roll stealth, please, as you are diving into cover on the other side of the open area.
Do I take any
No,
minuses? To
you don't take any minuses to stealth.
Well, at least it was a D10.
Hey, I'll roll a d20. It'll only go well for you guys if I don't get caught. I'll talk my way out of whatever. I love that my willpower is so bad I cannot resist torture or drugs.
Okay, and you guys rolled by far well enough. You duck into an overgrown alleyway as you hear the gates start to roll open. And what sounds like one of the dogs and two of the people running out through the open gate. However, remember how I said it was a very large gate? You only hear it opening for like maybe the equivalent of 6 feet. So they're not bringing a vehicle through. It's just somebody checking something. And as you are all holding your breath, kind of hidden in one spot, praying that nothing happens, you hear gunshots from further south, and some startled yells from the Militech people, and them returning fire. As you make your way further deeper into the area that you needed to be, you are kind of going back alleys where you were in living spaces before. Residential areas before. You're in commercial areas now, and you can see several buildings propped up and again covered with these huge heavy vines, most of them collapsed in on themselves or just kind of a burnt out hulk of what it is. And then you see it, the only building you can think of that might have what you're looking for. It is a brick and mortar, so literally red brick, and it's 2 stories. It has some of the creeping vine on it, but not much. It looks like the outside of the building, somebody burned away a lot of the stuff that was hanging on it, because it has some burn marks, but not anything that would damage the outside of the building. Yes, Mark?
You were correct. It is kudzu.
Kudzu. Okay, thank you. It looks like somebody burnt away part of the kudzu. There are windows that are partially boarded up. You can see that they have some glass in the frame, but behind them you can see that they've been boarded up. There's a door, a double door that used to be glass but has plywood on the inside, and you can see that it is called Tenpenny Comics and Cards. And it is a comic book and card shop, 2-story, that has seen better days. And that's when you hear someone yell from the roof, "Hold it right there. I don't want you guys trying to ransack my place again." And the area in front of you on the sidewalk shifts with little explosions as a silenced rifle shot strikes the ground in front of you. And that's where we're going to stop it for tonight.
Oh, come on!
Nice. So what you're saying is inside it painted purple on the ceiling. Purple and black.
Perhaps.
But a good selection of back issues.
Oh my gosh, it's been so long. Kale's baby shower was there.
Kale's baby shower was there, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, thank you guys for playing. I have no issues running next week. Do you guys look like you probably okay? Well, you're a big question mark, understandable.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
I feel woefully under IP'd, are we going to be getting a reward for past?
Okay.
Stuff.
Each of you should get, I apologize, 280 IP. So
Okay.
add 280 IP.
Uh,
I don't have 10.
is that for those of us who did a single hustle or double hustle?
That's double hustle.
Yeah.
It's a double hustle reward. Okay.
Yeah.
Did I double?
I will talk to you later. You do not do double hustle.
But you can.
Again.
Sorry.
Let's just say he's working the hustle.
So I just want to verify because right now my current is at 360. Does that jive with what?
Looking at my records.
Because I was following on what Anthony had posted because he took my XP chart from Exalted and turned it into something for Cyberpunk, and then he was listing some numbers.
That looks about where I have you. Yes.
So then
wait, 360 before this.
Yeah, before this.
Yeah, that's right.
So that would put me up to like 560 and 80 is 640.
That sounds about right. Yep.
Okay, just making sure. I didn't want to be too far off.
So the rest of you should be around that number.
Okay.
Around that number.
We're gonna do money later. You said.
Yes, we're gonna do oil rig money after you guys are done because that's part of that play-by-post trade, which is in the past now.
Do we take our hustle money?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you do.
Thank you.
Yep. Did you have any questions? Did you have any questions, Billy?
No questions. I think I'm caught up with everything.
Okay.
Is it okay for me to refresh my duct tape?
Yeah.
I never know when I'm going to need
All
it.
your
So.
eggs.
How much does it cost to up my interface skill? 1 point. Isn't it like 400 IP?
I think it's 400.
I think it is too, but I wanted to make sure.
My book stopped scrolling. Why are you doing this to me? You're going from 4 to 5, right?
Correct.
Roll ability rank improvement from 4 to 5 is 300.
Oh, 300. Great.
From 5 to 6 is 360. So some of you might be able to jump to 6.
Doubtful. Unless somebody got an extra reward somewhere.
True.
Oh, I'm not trying to be a nitpicker. I'm just saying I know I've done every single opportunity that there has been to get IP, which is cool, and I'm glad we're getting it. But I didn't want to spend it yet on raising that till I knew we could. But we have approval for that, right?
Yeah. So you have approval to upgrade anything you want, skills, double skills, etc. But all I'm asking is, if you are improving something, especially if you're improving something that you don't have or that's very low, refer to the fact that you are practicing that skill.
Right.
Like you're not going to get, you're not going to jump from a skill from 1 to 7 overnight without reason.
Right.
But I think that's it. Thank you guys for playing. I hope you had fun. I look forward to starting back up next week. Hopefully we'll be able to play, continue and push this through.
Thanks, Dan. It's good.
Thank you for running. As always, if you'd like to support us, you can do so on YouNow by becoming a fan, like You Blacksmith, and sending us your likes so we can help get to level 10. We made it to level 7, so thank you for all the likes, especially You Blacksmith. You're a rock star. On Twitch, you can hit the follow button, or if you're able to, hit the subscribe button, and you'll become one of our rock stars. On YouTube, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and of course the bell icon to be notified whenever we upload new content, which is almost every single day of the week, Monday through Friday. And last but not least, you can head to patreon.com/gamersledge, where you can get your name on every single show that we do for as little as $1 a month, just like the fine folks. This time it was the other way. Heading across our screen right there on the left side. Thank you to all of our Patreon and Twitch producers. No, Dan, you are the rock star. And for all of us, thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow night with Gamers Edge Podcast at 7:15 Pacific, 9:15 Central, 10:15 Eastern. And until then, if my computer actually didn't lock up, because it seems like it did. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, that's weird. Oh, there it goes. Yay. Thanks for watching. If I can scroll down to the place where... Come on, computer. All right, thanks for watching. Until next time, game on.
Game on.